I'll make sure I ain't got none in my teeth, man.
Good.
I like that shirt, bro.
Thanks, appreciate it. Well, congrats, Aaron. What would this mean to get this promotion?
Oh man, first of all, thank you so much. I think when you get in this profession, you have hopes and dreams for yourself, and we had such a great group of dudes, man. It was just like it was bittersweet, obviously it was sweet for Walt to have his opportunities, and it was just like I'm so thankful, man. I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. It's still sinking in. It seems surreal, man, and it's just an absolute blessing, bro. Like I can't tell you how excited I am. I can't tell you how thrilled I am to continue to lead these young men, serve these young men, and I'm just so fortunate and blessed. It's just like this year keeps getting better,
I guess when Brett told you, like you guys were on a walk in Jackson or somewhere, like what was that moment? Did you believe him? Like I don't know, what was that like?
Well, he kind of asked me questions just in regards to the game, this game. And he had a feeling that Walt was going to potentially get a job, and we had went on a walk that morning. We were in Jackson, Mississippi. We had just left the night before Caleb Patterson's house, beautiful home in Jackson, Mississippi. It was a Residence Inn hotel, brand new Residence Inn hotel. It's really nice, right by the airport. And we go on a walk. We come back from the walk. Coach is doing a lot of stuff. I'm in my room, showering up, trying to get the car ready. And I come back downstairs, and I'm kind of getting the car ready, and he had proceeded to ask me, have I spoke to Walt? I guess Walt had just got the job, and I had no idea. I'm kind of oblivious. I'm getting coffee ready, getting drinks ready for the car, because we got had about a 3-hour ride to Memphis. And he pulls me around the corner in the hotel lobby, and he said, "Are you ready?" And we were getting ready to take off to leave, and I was like, I'm looking at him like, well, why wouldn't I be ready? Like, the car's right outside, And he was like, I want to name you to DC. And like, bro, like I wish you guys could have been there. It was such a cool moment, Obviously he's crying, I'm crying, I'm in shock, right? Like I was in, more so in shock because it's just like, I think anybody in our defensive staff room could have easily been in this position. I think the way this system is set up, like Walt put all of us in place to have opportunities to call this defense. And the fact that Coach would offer it to me, man, I'm thankful to the other assistants. I'm thankful to the players. I'm thankful for him and his trust and believing me. I'm thankful to Josh Whitman. Like I'm elated, But understanding there's still a job at hand that we have to do, and I was really excited though.
I remember Florida. When you were coming out of high school, Florida tried to get you.
Yes, sir.
If you don't go to Wisconsin, this might look a little different for you. Have you thought about the different paths?
I've thought about so many different paths, dude. And my grandma used to always tell me, the alternate route's a long one, but you ultimately end up in the same place. And everybody's journey is a tad bit different, and it's crazy, right? Like, I think Florida was just coming off a national championship. I could have easily, being a 17-year-old kid, I could have easily been swayed. Sitting down talking to Urban Meyer, going to Florida, and I'm so thankful for my high school head coach, John Weber, and protecting me. He didn't allow me to see Coach Meyer face to face. Like he wouldn't allow it because there was a relationship established there with Coach B and Dave Dorn at the time, who was also helping recruit. He was one of the assistants. But when you got really good people in your life, really good adults in your life, right, that can oftentimes protect players from themselves. Obviously, I ended up going on having a great career at Wisconsin. A relationship was established there with Coach B. And who would have told me that 12 some odd years later that I would be in this position, man. I am really, really grateful. I'm humble, and I'm really excited about the opportunity.
When Coach B has talked about this, he has said throughout the entire year, Aaron has called the defense. I mean, it's been a team, and we know it's been a team effort, but can you, in layman's terms, kind of talk about what your role has kind of developed into over time?
Yes,
with
sir.
Coach B?
So, like the way this system is set up and the way it works is, obviously Walt was the signal caller, right? Sure. But Walt, I think what made Walt an incredible leader is that he was willing to listen to the people around him, and so J-Mo may have had, Terrence Jamison may have had something, Andy Boo may have had something, right? Kevin Kane may have had something, Grant O'Brien may have had something, being an analyst. I may have had something, and so there were times that, obviously being a back end guy, right, that I had some suggestions and some thoughts, and Walt took those and ran with them, but it was just like again the way the system is set up. Like it could have been any one of us standing right here in front of you guys, and so there were times during practice, right, that, hey, hand, call it, and so I think he kind of knew a little bit, right. There are times during practice he do that with a whole bunch of coaches, but like it's just really really cool at times, to finally be in this position and I mean you work so hard. I can remember being a GA, right, and obviously everybody has aspirations to be in this moment, to be a head coach, all that good stuff. I can remember being a GA, right, and not really knowing how to work exos. You know what I'm saying? And to come full circle to be in this moment, I'm in front of you guys talking about coordinating the defense against a really good offense. By the way, it seems kind of surreal, but I'm so thankful, man. I wish you could see my heart, man. It has a really big smile on it. I'm just so thankful and gracious, and I'm forever humble. But more importantly, these players know how I'm wired. They know how I operate. Right, I'm not gonna be something I'm not. I'm a high energy dude. I love on these guys really, really hard. Like that's who I am. That is my genetic makeup, and I'm obviously gonna continue to do that, but take it to a new level. Right. Obviously, I don't have a position group now. I have my hands around the whole defense, and so obviously I still have my hand in the secondary, but it's been really exciting.
To that point, what's it mean to you to have like a Tyreek Barnes this week go? When we heard the news, okay, we know what Coach Henry's about. We know what he is.
Yeah.
There's a comfort level now among the whole defense.
Yes.
That what's going on here.
It really meant a lot, Reek is so special to our defense and our system, and this coaching staff. He's a natural leader. There come a point in time during the course of the season where he called a players meeting. And anytime you have things like that set in place, man, you have a really special group of young men. And we as coaches, we can kind of take a step back and kind of help these players and allow them to understand, like, this is their team, right? We can kind of point them in the right direction, but Coach Henry, at no point in time on game day will I be out there running around, right? I may make a call, but the call comes alive because of him. Right, and so like the more we can empower our players and get them to realize, listen, this call is very simple, and when it's done right, it's beautiful, right? And when you can run that fast and you can hit that hard, like this is the beauty of this defense, right? But when you don't execute it properly, right, or guys doing the wrong thing, right? Now it's not what we designed it to be, right? And anytime you design something and it's not being utilized for what it's called to be, right, it ends up being a waste. Absolute waste. And so I think these young men are really excited. I think they're really excited to go out there and play, and to not just from Tariq, right? I mean, every last one of those players, text, call, hug, see me in person. I mean, they were more excited for me than I was for myself. You know what I'm saying? And so to have that, it really meant a lot. It really meant a lot because they know I got their back, and I know they got mine.
What does an Aaron Henry defense look like? What are you going to take from Walt? What are you going to take from Brett to create your own?
Obviously we'll still have some remnants of this past year's defense. I mean, I'll be absolutely crazy to tell you that I'm just going to full sail change this defense with all the success that we've had. We're going to have fun. I can tell you that. Just like Coach Walt did, I try to empower my players, and I try to think more matchups than scheme, and I want to continue to cater this system to our players. So many times, right, you'll have a brand new coordinator, right, whether offense or defense, and this is how they're going to run it, right? Well, I'm a new school guy. I don't operate like that. I was once an academic advisor, and if you trying to teach somebody something and they don't understand it, you got to find a new way to teach it to them. And so I'm really focused on what do our players do well, and how can I put them in a position to excel at the things that they do well, And so we're going to obviously play hard, right? We're going to close the middle of the field, and we're going to get after the quarterback, right? Those are kind of just three staples that we're going to have in this defense, right? Obviously we had them this year, but we're really pounding on those and hitting on those as we move forward.
It's kind of a look ahead, both of you playing calling plays, but also the secondary, young guys getting playing time. What do you see out of those guys, and what does this experience mean for them moving forward?
Oh, this experience is monumental, man. At one point in time, Devin Witherspoon was a wide-out freshman, right? Sidney Brown was a wide-out freshman. Quan Martin was a wide-out freshman. Kendall Smith was a wide-out freshman running around. And I think everybody knew that they had ability, but I don't know if everybody knew this kid's a potential first-round draft pick or this kid's a potential second or third-round draft pick. You know what I'm saying? And so I think the way we recruit, we're going to continue to bring really, really good players in with the skill set that they can play at a high level. And experience is key, man. A lot of these players, this is going to be their first time getting a lot of experience. You know, and throughout the course of the year, I think moving forward throughout the course of the year, right, especially with players opting out and stuff, like just turnover on your roster. You got to get guys playing a little more, a little earlier. You know what I'm saying? Get them that confidence. So when you win a game like this, right, and our guys, they feel extremely, I mean, just DBs in general, right? Like all those DBs, they think that they're the best things since sliced bread, you know. But to have Xavier Scott start a game this year, right, probably one of the biggest games in Michigan, right? To have Tyler Strain start a couple of games this year, right? Make a massive interception versus Purdue, and now those guys being starters for us, that was huge, dude. That was huge, right? Tyson Rooks played a little bit early on, right? Elijah McCantos played a little bit early on. Keontae Curry played in certain parts of our system and our scheme on third down. Prince Green probably hadn't got a lot of reps, but now is being called to the forefront, right? Matt Bailey. And so all these young players, man, it's a great opportunity for them. At the end of the day, it's football. Right? Football ain't hard, it ain't complicated. If you can run around, you can hit people, right, and do your job, you can have a lot of success.
You got a new defensive backs coach.
Yes, sir.
You know pretty well.
Oh,
what
yeah.
do you need to know about him? What's he bring to you guys?
Well, I think Coach said it earlier. He does bring coordinator experience. That was something that was really, really important to me. Having a familiar face, right? Obviously, me and Antonio played together. Me and Antonio have a very, very close relationship, man. And the dude has had success in DB play every place he's been, right? I know he probably wasn't the main guy at LSU, but I mean, he has an intricate part of their success on the back end. And I can remember him talking to one of his players over the phone, and those the guys, they love him. They absolutely love him, dude. And I know they're obviously sad to see him go, but this is a great opportunity for him. And I think anytime you have a player who's played this position at a high level in this conference, right, first team all-conference player, right, has coordinator experience, right, has the trust of the head coach. I mean, it's hard to pass that up, man. On top of having the trust of the coordinator, man, we just gotta. I think oftentimes in this profession, right, and within our players, relationships are massive, right. This wasn't a overnight interview, right. This was an interview that's been going on the last 10, 15 years, you know, and obviously we had an opportunity to pull the trigger and hire him, and for him, I know he's so gracious and thankful having 4 kids. You know, this is life changing for him, and we gonna play really good in the secondary, extremely good in the secondary, and so I'm really excited about what he brings to the table. I know our players are excited about it, and so I'm really looking forward to working with him.
Aaron, you probably spent 20 minutes talking about these guys, but you just signed a bunch of DBs.
Yes, sir. Oh yeah.
Can you go down a little bit of what each of those guys are?
Yeah. So obviously, right. For all of them bring some kind of element of length to the table, you know, right? Caleb Patterson, right? I'm glad he decided to come on a visit to us. We went in his home. He was actually headed somewhere else. We went into his home. You know, Coach B sprinkled a little bit of that fairy magic dust on him and his family and won him over. He came to visit us, has a great family, you know, came to visit us and fell in love. You know, I think with a lot of these players, right, they don't understand what Illinois is until they get up there. Right? You see the facility, you see the people. Right? Our facility is incredible, but you meet our rest of our coaching staff, it's like, how do I not come to school here? Right? He's long, he's rangy, he runs extremely well. You know, Caleb was a 110 high hurdle state champion in high school. Right? That lets you know that he can run. Obviously, Sabor Kareem. I mean, that cat, you guys know, man. Like that was a dog fight, man, to keep that dude, right? Because we all saw the potential and the ability, right? Obviously, I know he got a 4th star, but when you see it early on, right, I look for that competitive mentality. And the biggest thing that sold me on Sabor is him playing lacrosse. You see that dude with a lacrosse stick in his hand, and he is magical. I mean, it is something. I mean, that kid could have easily went Division I playing lacrosse. I mean, he's obviously extremely talented. You know, Jaheim Clark. Jaheim is I can remember. Funny enough, my high school basketball coach from Immokalee High School was actually working at Jaheim's high school about 3 years ago. And he shoots me a text. He was like, "It's a kid down here, man. You may want to take a look at." Right, long kid. I think he was a sophomore at the time. And going into his junior year, he had a kickoff return for a touchdown, like a 95-yard touchdown. Right, and just the way he ran a little bit and how tall and skinny he was, first thing I thought about was Spoon. Just like his stature and his size. Got long arms, right, really, really skinny frame. But the first thing I thought about was Devin Witherspoon. Then I had a chance to see him run around at practice, and I'm like, oh, this cat hadn't stopped talking. He was talking the whole practice, dude. I'm like, oh my goodness, man. And then you just fell in love with his you fall in love with his skill set, right? He's Jamaican kid. He was actually a diehard soccer player, right? Come from a great home, great family, and I mean, just his athletic ability alone, his competitive nature, you absolutely love it, and you just love the way he competes, you know. And then you see him run around, you see how competitive he is. I mean, that was easy, right? Being in my backyard, it was so easy to. I was just trying to hide him. I was trying to hide him because he's right up the road from a rival high school, Quan's high school to be exact. Right, and they had a bunch of players. I was trying to make sure he stayed at his high school so nobody didn't find out about him. And then obviously you got Zach Toby. I think Zach Toby has a position to play any one of those positions in the secondary. He's long, he's rangy. Probably gonna start him off at the nickel position. You would like to see if all those guys can play corner. If they can't, you just move them in, right? But for the most part, all these guys, we're gonna start them off at corner just to see how they operate, see how well they move. Right, some guys will come in a little more flexible and a little more agility than others, and we can just move them in from there. But the way our system's set up, right, we're gonna train them to do everything. Right, we're gonna train them to do everything. Like you guys, as you can see throughout the course of the year, right, Quan went from corner to nickel to safety, right. So we want to train guys to do all that, because if we get in the course of the season where these guys got to slide in, right, and because we got 85 corners, right? Maybe we got to play them at nickel. Maybe we got to play them at safety. Maybe they're our best safety. I don't know. And so we're gonna obviously be doing that during spring ball. And then who am I missing? Canary Wiltshire, right? Coach McDonald. Coach McDonald, right? Worked his magic, right? The kid led the state of Florida, dude. Led the state of Florida. And how that happened was I'm in his house for a home visit, and as I'm in his house, I'm sitting down. I'm like, dude, just keep it real with me. What do you want to play? Because I had been hearing some things, right? Other schools trying to get him, sneak him on visits. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what do you want to play? He's like, I want to play wide receiver. Call coach. Coach, I already want to play wide receiver. He's like, he's a wide receiver then. Coach was like 30,000 feet in the air, right? FaceTiming him. And obviously, I mean, anytime you get a player lead the state of Florida in receiving, I don't know what they're doing down here, but he led the state of Florida in receiving. I mean, this is one of the talent-rich states in America, right? I mean, it's hard to. I'm glad he ain't going nowhere else. I can tell you that much. Am I missing anybody else? I think that's all of them. But no, man, we gotta obviously not having Canary. Man, he's so talented, dude. His first play, funny enough, that I actually had a chance to go and see him play. They line him up at running back, motion him out the backfield, 80 yards later, touchdown. First play of the game, man. I'm like, this cat's special. But all of them are really, really special players. On top of being really talented, they are extremely well-spoken young men. They're everything we want in our program, right? And all we got to do is just cultivate them to the system that we want them to play in, and allow them to be the players they're capable of being.